What's going on, YouTube? In this video, I want to go over the only funnel you need to get email copywriting clients. You're not going to want to miss this because I'll be going in depth on how to set this funnel up so that you can crush it. Before we dive in, if you're someone that's stuck, you're confused, you're lost, and you don't know where to go, you don't know if you should be doing email copywriting, you don't know if you should be doing inbound closing, you don't know if you should be doing setting, I recommend you book a free strategy call below where we'll really dive deep into where you're at in life, what business model you should be doing based on your current life setup. Some people don't want to do closing, some people don't want to do settings, some people don't even want to do email. We'll figure out what works best for you, how much you should expect to make, and then if it makes sense too, we can also chat about maybe getting into the HFM mentorship program. But we do not hard sell on these calls. We do not want to enroll anyone into the HFM mentorship program who isn't 100% ready to get serious. So if you're stuck, book that call. Also recommend you get into our free Facebook group as well. Now, here's how the funnel's set up. I'm gonna keep it super simple for you. Step one, we need a powerful brand. We need a brand that reflects that you know what the hell you're doing. I get asked constantly from people, do they need to have professional stuff set up to get clients? The answer is no, but you're gonna have a way harder time to do it than if you're someone that has a good brand. A brand that when someone shows up on it, they're impressed immediately. It's just gonna make your time way easier getting clients. You do not wanna be sending cold emails from a Gmail account. You do not wanna be sending cold emails if you don't have a website yet. You do not wanna be non-existent on social media. You can get clients without social media, but you really don't wanna do that. It's better to put a face out there. Actually, most of the agency owners out there are starting to realize this fact. There's a shift happening right now where the old ways of just blasting out cold outreach, it still works, and it's still very, very effective, but eventually there will come a point in time where your brand will be much more important than it is right now. So it's good if you start building an actual brand online, and so that people can really reference who you are, how you sound, all that, and then they're gonna just be way more likely to buy from you. Your agency service of writing emails. So you need to have a powerful brand. You need to set that up right. So this means a website, at least one social media that looks good, that makes you, stand apart from the horde that aren't willing to do this. Obviously a good profile picture, a professional email address, and that's about it. So that's stage one of the funnel, your brand, which is more important than you think. That is part of the funnel. You need a brand, stage one. Stage two of the funnel is an automated sequence for cold emails. Why does it need to be automated? It doesn't have to be automated. You could do manual replies, manual follow-up, but most beginners don't have the patience for that. Especially when they've never landed a client before. They'll start to have doubts as they're replying. You can't have doubts. You need to set the sequence up one time and let it fly and see how it does. And that can be a cold email sequence of 3 emails to 7 emails is a good amount. So that's stage two, is a cold email automated sequence that you go find email addresses to put into. You can find the email addresses on LinkedIn, Apollo, Uplead, and so many other tools out there that are in the data space. They give you data, you pay for the data. You get the email addresses, and there's only 7 billion people on the planet, and every one of them basically has an email. There's unlimited leads. You just have to make sure you hit your numbers for the day, get those email addresses, and you're gonna put those emails into an automated sequence. I don't care if your sequence is dog shit when you're starting out. You need to start with something and start loading emails into it, see how it does, put 100 leads into it, and then create another sequence and put 100 leads into that one. Pick the winner. You should be always split testing until you're at a spot where you're making enough money to not have to split test anymore. You keep split testing until you can stop. There is a stopping point when it actually becomes effective and starts working for you. But until that time, just keep split testing sequences. But remember, stage two of this essentially this funnel I'm talking about is the cold email sequence. So it's the brand, the cold email automated sequence. The third step for the funnel is the replies. People are gonna start replying to your cold emails. And that's when you set up sales calls. It's all based on what they say when they respond. You don't just send them the same generic message. If they only want samples from you, if they wanna see a portfolio from you, which is rare, but if they do, or if they wanna see they wanna hear more about a free trial. So how it works, typically what I tell my students to do is, if they want sample emails, you really don't have to get on a sale. You don't have to get on a call with them to give them samples. If they want a free trial, then yeah, you're gonna wanna get on a call with them to make sure that you're gonna actually get money out of them when you end the free trial. And you'd obviously have an excuse of why you need a free trial. Or they're gonna respond and say they wanna get on a sales call and hear about your service. So you need to have the third part of this funnel is figuring out what they say to you and then, giving them an appropriate response. Now, you can also, a really, really good strategy is when they respond to your cold emails, and instead of just responding to the reply, you can just straight up cold call them. Say you sent 100 emails and then 5 of them responded. You could call those 5 people, find their phone number, call them, and tell them that you're the guy that was emailing them and just wanted to touch base with you. They're going to respect that. But you don't have to do that if you're not confident enough to get on a call like that and just throw yourself in front of them. Then just respond to the email and keep it moving. But that's the third part of the system. It's going to be branding, cold email automated sequence, responding to the responses, sales call is a fourth stage. Getting on the actual call, which is either a phone or a Zoom call. You get on it, you sell them on your service. That's it. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible because you're brand new. The more you overcomplicate your outreach system, the more you try to do these awesome little emails that are specific to the client 100%, you have all these little different variables in it, and then you don't get replies because you're cringe or they just don't want to reply to you, and you're not doing volume, you're not loading up your calendar, you're going to start to doubt, you're going to give up. Keep it as simple and tight as you can. A brand that's pretty solid, cold email with a pretty simple cold email system. Don't overcomplicate it. You can add a little bit of personalization, but try to make it as simple as possible so you can hit your leads for the day. Keep your responses super simple when they respond to you. Act like a professional. A professional's not going to overdo the responses. It just makes you look like you're just sitting there waiting for responses all day. People that are hustling to move it don't have time to write out big ass responses to replies that they get. They want to feel like you're working with other clients. You barely have time to respond. Barely have time to get a sales call with them because you're working and you're making money. The moment you start sounding like you have this big old all this time to write and shit, they're gonna know you're not perfect. They're gonna know you don't know what you're talking about, most likely. And then number 4 is get them on a call. Don't try to sell them with a video. That way, you gotta get on camera. You probably don't look like a professional. Most people online don't. You're probably gonna fuck it up somewhere in the VSL. I know a lot of guys send Loom videos out, which is fine, but they also have a lot more experience than most people watching my videos. So get them on a sales call. You're going to have an easier time selling them on a sales call than sending a video to them. Oh, check out this video. If you want to get in, let me know. How many videos are you going to have to send before you actually get a good VSL? It's a nightmare for a beginner. Keep it super simple. Brand, cold email. And if you don't even have to do cold DMs or cold calling. If you do cold email, just keep it simple. And if you're not in a hurry, it makes it even better. If you're working your 9-to-5 job and you're just dabbling in it, just keep working on that one funnel until it's at a spot where you can make enough to quit. Keep it simple. Simple scales. Start responding to the replies, and then finally get them on a call and sell them. And the more calls you get on, the more skills you develop, the easier it's going to be to close your deals. So just expect your first couple sales calls are going to be tough because you don't have the experience of closing yet. But given enough time, you'll start to get the lingo. You'll start to understand what to say if they ask you this question, and boom, you're going to be crushing it. You get your first client. Now you got a case study, which makes it easier to get your second, third, fourth, fifth clients. Again, if you're someone that's just stuck, you don't know where to go, email copywriting, email closing, appointment setting, you're not really sure which one you should be focusing on. You're not even sure how to fulfill the service if you got hired in that first place. And you want clarity. You want us to help point you in the right direction and tell you what you should be charging, what lingo you should be using, all that, then I recommend you book a free strategy session below with me or one of my team members. And on that call, we'll point you in the right direction. And then we can also chat, if it makes sense, about potentially getting into the HFM mentorship program where we handhold you for 6 months. We micromanage you for 6 months to make you start making you money. A lot of coaching programs out there, they don't do that. They don't give 6 months. They give you 8 weeks max, if that. Most of the time, they'll just throw you into a Facebook group and say, good luck, here's the training videos. Hardly any customization. We do it differently, at least for right now. Later on, we might make it a little bit more group setting, but right now, it's you're gonna get handheld from us when you get stuck.